Look at the major offseason additions. Harry Ford, Joey Weimer's had a great on-base streak. At the bottom of your screen, yes, a sideline reporter was acquired. Alexa Datt from the St. Louis Cardinals, a major offseason move. And our former colleague here at MLB Network joins us now on the National Pregame Show. Alexa, good to see you. Before we get into baseball talk, how did this all go down? I mean, as a St. Louisan, I know how much of a star you were in St. Louis. You were loved there. Was that a difficult decision to go from St. Louis to D.C.?
Hi, gentlemen. It's so good to see you guys again. And yeah, Greg, you know, the Midwest sucks you in. There's such great people there. And, you know, it was a tough decision between the two organizations. But for me, as you know, going home, and Dan, you know it too, going home is so incredibly important. So I was given the opportunity to come back here to D.C., and I took it. It's a dream come true.
Well, Alexa, it's Harold here. Good to see you back in your home stomping grounds. What's it like working for the home team?
Yeah, the cool part is I'm new, but so is everyone else. So I don't feel like the odd man out, right? You have a new manager, new president of baseball operations, new general manager, and then so many new faces, not only on the fields, but in the clubhouse. Everyone's kind of getting to know each other, but that happened pretty early on in spring training, and creating this new energy has been a lot of fun. Blake Butera picking up his first managerial win as a major leaguer, opening day at Wrigley. We got crushed with champagne and all kinds of beer and celebration. So it's been a lot of fun, and watching these guys gel, especially on the road, right? Because you come to a new team and everyone's on the road together in Chicago and Philly, spending that time together as well. It kind of helps build that culture.
I'm wondering what Blake is like pregame. I know he's a guy who worked himself all the way through the minor league ranks, everything else. Does he go around, talk to every player before the game? Obviously, he's high-fiving guys up to the victory. But I want to ask you what he's like on a daily basis. What are the players saying?
Yeah, and I was asking him before I even met him. We caught up on the phone, and I was like, what's your overall energy like? What's your heart rate like on a daily basis? And he's like, I am so even-keeled. He's like, it's funny. Sometimes you probably want to see more emotion from me, and you're just not going to get it because that's just not who I am. I'm one of those guys that stays calm and steady. The rest of my staff can handle maybe getting a little bit more riled up. But he does go around and have a lot of conversations. Communication is so incredibly important to him and important to these younger guys, too. They said these game plans that they've been handed, individualized by the coaching staff for them, helps get them set for whatever they're going to face on a daily basis. So he's pretty cool, calm, and collected, guys. I have yet to see him freak out, so I'll let you know.
All right. Well, what about the two signature players, in our opinion? Harold and I, big fans of James Wood, C.J. Abrams. I mean, I know the Nationals are 3-1, but this is a rebuild, right? They're going much younger, even in the managerial role. How are Wood and Abrams fitting into this rebuild?
They're the cornerstone pieces, right? I mean, James Wood hit his first homer of the season the other day, and he was like, I'm glad that one's out of the way. Sometimes the first one is the hardest one to hit in a season, and he feels really comfortable with his swing. His lower half kind of, fell to the wayside at the end of last year, and he built that back up at the IMG Academy in the offseason, and he's feeling like his swing is actually in the best place that he has seen it so far in his career. So he's excited to see that translate. But when I asked him when he knew that he had that home run, he was like, I don't know. I feel like I found out when everyone else did. It got out of here in a hurry, and it was reminiscent of another home run for him earlier in his career when he was facing, I think it was Detroit in DC, and he's like, I didn't know I hit that home run until it was in the flower boxes and I was, in rounding second base. So I think for him to be able to have these homers just leave the yard at such a crazy pace is so fun to watch. They're bullets. They get out of the ballpark so fast, and that sort of power to have that in the middle of the lineup. And then C.J. Abrams, this guy can do it all. The fact that he was involved in trade rumors, obviously, in the offseason, but the organization decided to keep him here means they are committed to him. There was a situation on opening day at Wrigley, bases loaded. They felt like he maybe didn't run hard enough out of the box. He comes in and he goes, hey, listen, guys, that was on me. That player accountability, another reason why they feel like not only the player, but the person that C.J. is worth building around.
I love that. I've been watching the games. They had a great opening series against the Cubs. There are some really overlooked arms on this roster. Is there a pitcher that guys are buzzing about that are saying the world doesn't know how good that guy is?
Well, Blake Butera called Foster Griffin a silent assassin last night. So I feel like that's a pretty good one to point out.
That's
they
a
say
great nickname.
He's highly intelligent. Yeah. And the fact that, not a lot of guys have seen him, obviously, because he spent 3 years over with the Yomiuri Giants, gives him a huge advantage. But he brought a cutter from Japan over here into his arsenal. It played really well there, and it played really well here last night. He got the top of the order. Obviously, a tough one here in Philly is to strike out in terms of Turner, Schwarber, and Harper. So he's going to be a name to watch, especially because he's more of a quiet guy. But when he does make his mark, it's definitely there on the mound.
John Morosi is reporting that the financial details are starting to come out on the acquisition of Alexa Datt to the Washington Nationals. 3 broadcasters to be named later, and cash considerations going back to St. Louis for you. So I don't know if you were aware of that when you were traded.
Greg, I got to say the hardest part about leaving St. Louis is now I don't get to hear you on the Gas House Gang on KMOX every week when you're the star of the show. You absolutely take over. You're a huge homer, which I love how excited you get about baseball. And now I have to listen on the app. So
okay,
I will do that.
Fine.
Don't worry.
I'm a chatty Cathy, as you know. Alexa Datt, you're the best. Congratulations on the new spot. We'll be cheering for you all year, okay?